So when I shared my assessment with you with my progress tower training to my for my show, I said I was going to go over body composition versus the scale. What we should be focusing on is our body composition. And the body composition consists of muscle, bone, your bone density, and fat. We should be focusing on changing our body composition to become healthier because our body composition determines how healthy we are. If you have a lot more fat than muscle, that's not a good thing. And there are three different types of fat. So, they're essential fat, and that's the fats that are found in the organs of the body, the fat that's found in the marrow of the bones, and the fat that's in our central nervous system that helps the body function properly. That's essential fat. Then there are two other fats. I call it the inside fat and the outside fat. The inside fat is the visceral fat, and the visceral fat is the fat that sits within your torso area. It's on the inside. It's on the inside of the intestines and stomachs. It's the one that suffocates your organs. It's the one that causes heart attacks. It's the one that holds toxins that cause cancer. And then the other one is the outside fat, that's the subcutaneous fat. That's the fat that sits under the skin. That's the one that you can see. When you talk about cellulite or whatever, that's the fat you can see. So the goal is to change the body composition instead of allowing the scale to determine what your weight should be, because the scale knows nothing. The scale does not know how much fat you have. The scale does not know if you have no muscle or if you have very little muscle. The scale does not know your bone density. The scale does not know your height. The scale knows nothing. So it's important to focus on, instead of the scale, which is just a part of a measurement, a part of a tool that's used to help you determine what your weight should be, focus on using a measuring tape. Take your waist. If your waist is more than 30 inches, you have some either visceral fat or subcutaneous fat that you need to get rid of, because that's measuring your waist and your girth determines how healthy you are as well. So the excess fat holds toxins in the body, and it's important to get rid of those toxins by reducing the fat in the fat cells and focusing on increasing your muscle mass, because muscle is what gives you shape. Muscle is what helps with your posture. Muscle is what makes you look beautiful, makes you strong, and supports your frame, so supports your body. So the focus should be on changing your body composition instead of just focusing on the scale, because the scale knows nothing. I hope that helps as you focus on losing body fat, which is more important. If you hold more of your fat cells in your hips or in your legs, take your hips, and as you watch what you eat, you watch your portion sizes, you make sure you have balanced meals, make sure you have protein with every meal, make sure you exercise, which includes resistance training, strength training, and cardio. You make sure all those things are in place, and you take measurements with a measuring tape. So the goal is to have a waist that's no more than 30 inches, and or if you hold more of your weight in your hips, take your hips, measure your hips, or measure your leg if that's where you hold most of your weight. And as you progress and as you strive to become healthier, take those measurements to help you determine what you should be. And you can still weigh, which is a good thing. But don't be dismayed if the scale does not move for a couple weeks, because it just might mean, if you're doing what you should be, that you're building quality muscle. And because the muscle is dense and compact, it's heavier than what the same volume of fat would be. So don't focus too much on the scale, because you could be going in the right direction, and you don't want to be disappointed by the scale, because the scale knows nothing. So I hope that helps, and we'll focus on some exercises in our next video. See you soon.